Hi, designers. How's it going? I hope you're having a great time of the day wherever you are in the world. I am here to answer some of your interior design questions. You guys have asked me before, and I wanted to answer them, so I decided to answer them live. Also, if you have any kind of questions, whatever they might be, leave them in the comments down below or leave them in the live chat so we can answer them together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go onto my YouTube studio, and then we are going to just chit chat about design, and I'm going to be answering questions. Also, just wanted to tell you that I have a digital interior design sketching course on iPad. It's going on tomorrow, and there is a special $101 discount, so grab it while on. I left the link down below if you want to sign up. So what we're going to do is I'm opening YouTube Studio, and right now I'm going to pick a question, but I'm going to prioritize the live questions. So if you have a question, maybe we can start with that. Hey, I've got my first project. Congratulations, in a month. Which software would you suggest using, and any tips? Okay, so if you've got your first project, interior design, and you want to understand the if you want to understand the process, then what I would suggest you to do is, first of all, ask the clients a lot of questions, make sure that everything is signed on, you have a contract, you understand what you're getting out of the project. So that is done basically by Microsoft Word. You can purchase a template on my website if you want for a contract, but make sure that everything is recorded and that you have a clear questionnaire for every single aspect of the design. That means that you will be able to understand what the requirements of the projects are. And then the next thing that you will do is you'll create a mood board. I create mood boards with PowerPoint. Sometimes I create them with Photoshop. I have both tutorials on my YouTube channel, so you can go ahead and watch it. And then the next step would be to do the 2D. So that would be done in Autocad or would be done in Sketchup. Yes, I love Sketchup because of the 3D capacity, but also because it's really incredible for pairing it with Lumion as a rendering engine. You don't have to render all the time, but sometimes you just want to give that extra beauty to the project. So yeah, rendering sounds like a great idea. So yeah, SketchUp all the way, and Lumion, and then PowerPoint. So these are the softwares that I mostly use. Also Photoshop, definitely Photoshop. Just wanted to say hi. Hello back. How are you doing? Svetlana, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Hi, Muhammad, how are you doing? Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you all. What are you doing this evening? Where you come from? Where do you come from? Which country are you watching me from? This is always interesting to me, by the way. So the next question is, can you speak about your experience as a freelancer? So as you know, that my career started from a fit-out company here in Dubai, and then I switched from there to running as a project manager in my friend's company. So that means that I got some project management experience from there. And then I started teaching in my old university. I was a teaching assistant, and it was like the most fun thing ever. And that's how this YouTube channel came to be. And then from there, I started working in IKEA. Yeah. So I worked in IKEA as an interior designer. So that is my timeline. Then I started freelancing after 2.5 years in IKEA. So the whole experience was that there was a lot of different experiences that got me to where I am today, which means that this is how I started freelancing. And I got a lot of experience from watching other people work as well in the field. And of course, like whenever you're starting your freelance business, you want to register your trademark, you want to be legal, you want to have your contracts ready, you want to have your paperwork ready, your process, and of course, like you'll not 100% be ready, so jump before you're ready. You will figure it out alongside of the way, and always hire a mentor. If you can hire a mentor, hire a mentor. You can hire me as well if you are confused. That's another option. My goodness, my makeup is crusty. I'm in my final high school year and my dream job is interior design. That's so sweet, and decor. But I'm also afraid that it might not be what I imagine in my head, like colors and art and not that much mathematics. Absolutely, there's little bit of mathematics, but it's nothing that's complex, I promise. But when it comes to studying interior design, it has this reputation that it's very easy. So a lot of people go there and like, this is the easiest thing to study. It really is not. There's a lot of staying up and there's a lot of studying. But look, if you're passionate about it, then it will be fun for you. There's a lot of drawing, there's a lot of color, there's a lot of different learning aesthetics, but there's always technical sides, which means that you'll learn construction as well. So honestly, look, any kind of major that you choose will involve something that you don't like. What I suggest you to do is focus on the things you like and don't be scared. There always will be a way. And if you don't like it, you can just change your major altogether. Thank you so much, Mohammed. That's very sweet of you. Hi, Amira. How are you doing? Oh, I love Algeria. I hope to visit. Hello from UK. Thank you, Thomas. If I'm butchering any of your names, I'm sorry. I'm Russian living in India. Oh, that's so cool. That must be a really cool story. From Uzbekistan. Ooh, wow, that's so cool. Hi. I hope I'm saying your name correctly, but thank you so much for all of you for joining, and thank you for calling me gorgeous. That's sweet. You guys are amazing, and I really, really love you so much. I was live on Instagram not too long ago. If you're not following me on Instagram, by the way, go ahead and be there, because like I try to answer as many questions as I can. So yeah. Other questions that you've asked me before and I did not answer because I am inconsistent. I have ADHD and I suffer from inconsistency. How to develop a floor plan. Okay, so whenever you're starting with development of a floor plan, whenever you're just starting, make sure that you draw just the outline of the floor plan. And then from there, what you want to do is write the functions down on the right or the left of that plan. And then from there, what you want to do is you want to sketch those functions within that floor plan. So imagine yourself entering from the door, and then you want to imagine how that person is using the space. So let's say it's an entrance. So the first thing you would do if you're going inside of your house and you have your keys, you have your bag, you want to hang them or you want to throw them someplace where it's like neat and organized so you'll be able to find your keys later. So you would imagine to have a console or some place to hang your keys, for example. And then the next step would be to just put bubbles into the space. Do not overthink it. Just say, okay, so this area is for dropping off keys. This area is for a little seating area to wear the shoes. This area is for, I don't know, storage, for example. And then from there, what you want to do is develop circulation. So you'll have to leave space for people to actually walk and work properly within the space, especially when it comes to a kitchen, by the way. Workspace is very important. And you can find a lot of those clearances in Human Dimension book. So that being said, this is how floor planning, or how kind of like a floor plan is developed. What say you buy models? Sorry, I don't understand the question. Do you work for an interior design company? No, I freelance. I'm a freelancer. I have my own license in Dubai. I do interior design coaching. So I coach other interior designers in marketing and business aspects and also in their projects. And I also sell like multiple things online. As an interior designer, by the way, this is very, very underrated topic. You don't want to depend on projects on their own, because sometimes you'll get slow seasons and you want to be able to afford your rent and afford everything else in your life. So that means that you need to develop passive income streams. So some of them is like digital products, things like that. And also like one-on-one sessions. I also do live courses. So see, like I do multiple things. And of course I do design too. I'm designing right now an extension for Vella for an incredible client. And I love her so much. Thank you, Rachel. You're very sweet. By the way, tell me if there are new countries you're watching from a new country. Tell me, please. I love it. I'm in third year of interior architecture. Oh, that's so cool. So answer me this, Rachel. A lot of people ask me this. So what is the difference between interior architecture and interior design? I want to know if you have that major in your university as well. Do you have interior design, or is it just interior architecture? Oh, Cornwall in England. Oh, I love England. I hope to visit one day. What kind of laptop you're using in interior design, and give us advice, please. Your follower from Jordan. Thank you, Muhammad. I appreciate you following from Jordan. I'm from Jordan, by the way. So when it comes to laptops, I have a blog post. I'll link it in the description below here, and it's all about different computers. But I really, 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 really recommend Republic of Gamers. I'm not sponsored to say this. My husband bought an advanced model from them, and it was not like very expensive. It was very reasonably priced, and it's so fast, so incredible. So I highly recommend it. Republic of Gamers computers. And when it comes to MacBooks and Apple products, I love Apple products because there's like the cloud between everything. And so if I copy text from my computer, I can paste it on my iPad. So that is more for editing rather than for interior design, because I struggle with rendering on Mac. So I have to use a PC. So I recommend a PC. What site do you buy models from? I rarely ever buy models, to be honest with you. Watching from Morocco. Oh, I really hope to visit Morocco one day. It's on my bucket list. What's your worst experience with a client and how do you handle it? Oof. I'm from Maryland. Hi. Oh my God, you guys are from all over the world. We're all interior designers and we're hanging out. It's so crazy and so beautiful. So what my worst experience? I am not allowed to say exactly what happened because it affected my relationship with my husband. So I will stay at that. But that client was terrible. I did not define boundaries before speaking with her. She called me at 2 a.m. and she was looking over the project and telling me, oh, they got this wrong and this wrong at 2 a.m. And I had panic attacks the entire night times that I actually took that project, and I had to fire that client. So it was a pretty bad experience. I did some mistakes too, but it's just that she was really, really rude. She had no respect when it comes to working with her, and it affected my relationship with my husband, affected my relationship with my friends, with myself, and it was just the worst period of my life. So yeah, when you see a red flag, move on. Okay. And by the way, like I'm not like bad mouthing her, but I think that like it could have been better if she was more understanding and if she, respected timelines and respected that at night time people sleep. The course is called Interior Design, but the course itself is split into 3 sections: decoration, commercial, and architecture. The interior architecture side explores designing in existing sites. Oh, that's so cool. It's 1:55 or 12:55 in the morning here in Indonesia. Oh my God, I really want to visit this year. I want to visit everywhere. Hopefully you guys, and I'm going to Paris at the 22nd. So if anyone of you is in France, let me know. Maybe we can meet up. I would love to see you guys. So like architecture, creating a whole new structure. Interior architecture takes existing building structures and building within them. So correct me if I'm wrong. When it comes to between the interior architecture major and interior design major, interior architecture is more advanced, and it means that you are taking care of structure. You are more involved in the architectural details as well. So correct me if I'm wrong, Rachel. But that's the difference, the main difference. And interior decoration is when you don't have to deal with any kind of structure, because in interior design you do study structure and you do study construction details and all of that. But when it comes to interior decoration, you don't have to worry about any of that, but it's just putting pieces together, basically. So you buy the floor, like the floor rugs, and you buy the curtains, and you just put things together and they look nice. No shame in studying anything or in majoring in any major that you want. You don't have to be an interior architect, and you don't have to be an interior designer. Honestly, interior decoration is the most fun. I said it. I'm not going to take it back. Uh, Lots of love from India. Thank you so much. I would love to visit Morocco. Thank you so much. Uh, are there any skills you wished you learned from before starting interior design that you think could have made things easier? Yes. I wasn't. It was a long time ago that I actually studied interior design. I graduated in 2014, and it was before the iPad came to be where it is right now. So I wish I learned digital sketching because I love sketching, and I wish I had like more portfolio work that is all sketch, like proper sketchbooks. So sketching in general, I wish that I focused more on that and created like notebooks of different projects. And also, I would have loved to have learned 3D from the beginning, any 3D software. So I recommend you to learn SketchUp because I learned it after graduating. So yeah, I was very intimidated by 3D Max. 3D Max sucks, by the way. Yeah, they'll never sponsor me, and I don't want to be sponsored by them. But when it comes to SketchUp, it was very easy to learn. It was very user friendly, and it just got me out of that, place. Where are you from? I am from Jordan. My mom is Syrian. I'm married to Iraqi. I live in the UAE. So from all over the world. I was born in Kuwait as well. So, but I belong in the UAE. My heart belongs here. United Arab Emirates, all the way. Uh, it's more advanced and more technical. That's true. Interior architecture is more advanced and more technical. How do you cope with creativity block? I let myself have some blocks. Sometimes you just need a break. Sometimes your brain is subconsciously thinking about ideas. So if you feel like you're creatively blocked, I don't know if you've seen Dr. House MD TV show, but if you notice that whenever he was thinking about like any kind of operation, or if he wanted to get a proper diagnosis, he would hold like a ball and he would bounce it off the wall. So actually, I understand why he does that. He is thinking about it, but he is also kind of busy doing something else. So it's a good idea to, when you're creatively blocked, is to do something else, is all I'm trying to say. You need some time, your brain needs some time to process, and even if you're not thinking about something, your brain is subconsciously processing it. So when you have a creative block, just do something else, and I promise you, it will be like a matter of time before you're back on track. Decorator at heart, Florida, USA. I love Florida. I'm visiting end of this year. I hope so. So if anyone is from Florida, let me know. I prefer the more technical details side here. That is so cool. I love seeing different people enjoying different aspects of design. I cannot do technical details. I have ADHD, and it's an interest-based nervous system. So I cannot do technical details as well as my husband can because he enjoys them. So we kind of balance each other out. Uh, do you have any tips on killing art blocks for students? Look, again, I said it just right now, but do something else. But if you have a block because you're not working on the project or you lack motivation, then you need to sit with yourself and journal about it. I'm serious. I know I'm an interior designer and I'm not going to be like all woo on you, but sometimes you need to journal on why do you feel like not working. Sometimes we feel like we can confuse art blocks or creative blocks with lack of motivation. Sometimes it can be a medical condition as well. So that's why I'm telling you. I didn't know that. So I'm sharing it with you. I hope it helps. What's your thoughts on sustainability within the industry? Okay, so actually my husband studied, he has a master's in sustainable design, and he wrote a lot about rework. So whenever it comes to sites, architectural sites, and how much time and money is spent, and how it affects the environment when it comes to rework, because you would do something and then you'd have to edit it, or remove a column or something. I think there's a lot of waste, but there's also a lot of greenwashing when it comes to interior design. There's a lot of labels that claim that they're sustainable sources or whatever, and they're actually like a part of the problem. So, but studying sustainable interior design is actually very, very interesting, because then you'll learn more about what materials to use. For example, bamboo trees are a really good source of wood, for example, and there's a lot of different aspects. But be aware of, again, greenwashing, because a lot of people, a lot of companies do that. Where did you graduate from? Ajman University of Science and Technology. I graduated 2014. My merit was excellent with honor. I can see it on the wall, so that's why I'm looking up. Assalamu alaikum, love from India. Alaikum salam, love to India. I'm perfectionist, so I gorge over floor plans and sections. I love that. I'd love to see your floor plans and sections, honestly. Recently had a blog, was tired, didn't know what to do, and had a vivid dream about an incredibly creative house. Now redoing my foyer. Oh my God, that's so cool. Oh wow. See, like, it's just give your brain a little bit time to process. See, like, you sleep and then you rest a little bit and then your burnout goes away. So sleep. In India now timing is 11:45 p.m. Now the time is 10:04 p.m. In UAE. I'm in Dubai, by the way. Any tips for a student like me who's struggling about doing their design? Have fun with it. And honestly, like, when I was a student, I obsessed over a lot of things. Please don't cringe, but like Twilight, for example, I was a big nerd, like, about Twilight novels and all of that. So I always had that character in mind, for example, Edward or Bella or whatever, and I designed for them. So if you're obsessed about something right now, use that obsession over whatever, like a band or something, and implement it in your design. It will make it a lot less boring. So in the future, you'll have clients, and clients are very interesting to work with, because they are very, like, every single person you meet is very creative, whole, and resourceful. You will have to understand that. You'll have to know that. And every client, they can surprise you with their ideas. So it becomes even more interesting after you graduate and work with actual people. But if you're a student, this is my biggest step to you. If you have an obsession, use it. I feel like I'm asking a lot of questions around here. I'm here for you. That's why I'm doing this session. Do all people that study interior design end up interior designers only? Or, like, are there different jobs that they can do with that? Afwan, of course. Okay, so that's a great question. You can do a lot of things with an interior design degree. For example, you can be an event designer, because by the end of the day, you are understanding of the space and you understand how to work with that space. So your skill set will prepare you to take a lot of different types of projects, including event design, commercial design, and interior design when it comes to residential design as well, houses, palaces, things like that. The other thing is that you can be a journalist in interior design. You can have a master's in business in interior design, and then you can guide other businesses. You can work with other businesses too. So it depends on the different things that lead you to that way. And that's why I love taking different type of jobs, because you'll kind of connect the dots later on that you worked this job to do this, for example. Do you know what I mean? So honestly, there's a lot of different options, and there's always some problem that you could solve. Watching from South Africa, that's so cool. Thank you so much for watching. I love your streams, so chill. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, Rachel. Thank you so much. How to be a licensed interior designer. It all depends on where you're living. I know that even different states have different rules. So if you're living in the States, please look up the correct one. But when it comes to self-learning interior design, you have to take an exam. If you want to work for a company, if you're self-learning, you can start with projects just by, registering for a license. So if you're in Dubai, DD Trader provides interior design licensing, and so on and so forth. Tips for making portfolios. Oh, I don't know what happened. Create different portfolios different company, try to mimic their style if you want to work for a certain company, and also make sure that you add like details. You focus on the story detail of that design, if that makes sense. Can you still see me, by the way? It's like kind of freezing. It's weird. They have a positive power. Thank you so much, Twilight. Twilight fun. Okay. So, hi, how is the designer become an excellent designer and doing a great job? I want you to read my latest blog post about this, because but have passion and have a lot of interest in your client. The answer is always in the client, I promise you. Oh my God, every time I go back to your channel, even if it's only a few times, you always give me new perspective and a great pep talk. Thank you so much. Love to Indonesia as well. Thank you so much. What's the recent 3D interior rendering view price in UAE? I wouldn't know. I do my 3D myself, so I really don't know. Whitewashing the foyer, making salon style doors as the main focal point. That's so cool. I would love to see it. There are various opportunities for graduates in ID. I'm a design student, but I also want to be a stylist for product photo shoot. See, that's so creative. You could be a set designer too for firms. That's so cool. Yeah, films, TV shows. That's oh my God, I forgot about this. Okay, are you guys okay? My ring light fell down. Watching from India. Hi, from Greece, from Waziristan. That's so cool. From Philippines. Thank you for being here. I am grateful as heck. I appreciate you guys. I really am so grateful. I love our community, so I really appreciate it. I want to get into floating architecture. What is that? I am not familiar, but that sounds so cool. It's 2 a.m. Holy smokes. 3D models from 3D Max file to SketchUp file. I don't know, but probably if you look it up on YouTube, you'll find a tutorial. I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't work with 3D Max at all. What is the challenging part of being an interior designer? For me, definitely working with contractors, because sometimes they can be unreliable, and because your timeline always depends on a lot of people, and it can take years to complete one project. So time is always not in your side when you're an interior designer. But I mean, look, for that challenge, there's a lot of different solutions. So whenever I'm working with a contractor, what I've learned is to document all of the interactions with them, because yeah, you can get really screwed over if you don't do that. So yeah. Other challenging part is that if you don't want to do something and you have to do it, that's a challenge. But that's a challenge in any job, and that's not any strange. Thank you so much for your content. Thank you. Which apps are you using most for the job? Which apps are the must, including business and interior design perspective? Many thanks from Germany. Thank you so much for watching from Germany. That's so cool. So I use Notion for planning. I have a Notion template on my website as well, if you want to take a look at it. I use SketchUp for modeling. I use Lumion for rendering, PowerPoint, definitely, Word, and I use Photoshop, of course, always, all the time. Photoshop is the mom. It's amazing. How can we get your design services? I would love you to design my studio. Oh my God, that's so sweet. Thank you very much, Abu Dhabi blogger. I would be honored to. Please message me on Instagram and we'll figure something out. I would love to work with you. I would love to design a studio, by the way. Buildings built on water that rise and fall with the ever-changing water levels. Floating architecture, preferably housing communities. That's incredible. That sounds so creative. From Sweden. Hello to Sweden. Oh my God, I love Sweden. I also want to visit. I want to visit everywhere. What the heck? Italy, I'm visiting nearby you this month, by the end of this month, hopefully. I'm in final year of civil engineering. How can I get into interior designing? I know SketchUp, Lumion, and Twinmotion, and Rhino. How can I be a good designer, and where to start and where to learn? I wish you the best of luck in your shift of career. I know that it can be super overwhelming, but you can definitely do it. So it's not only about software. You have to learn how to include user experience in spaces. I know you're familiar with floor plans and all of that, but you also have to think about how different people would use that space. And you have to develop an aesthetic sense. So I would suggest that you go to Pinterest, you create boards, you keep up to date with trends, you connect with other designers, and as well you can get a mentor if you want. I do interior design coaching. I know I'm saying it every now and then, but that's because I could really help you with that transition if you wish to. So yeah, you have to learn about how to use functionality and user experience as your main anchor for the project rather than anything else. I don't know exactly how civil engineering works or what the process is, but I know that this is what you need to learn as an interior designer. I love India. Thank you so much. Did you volunteer anywhere, local theater, community housing projects in your journey to professional? I volunteered, but it wasn't interior design related. So yeah, but I would love to do that someday. Like I would love to, you know, donate some time to work with different projects. But that's kind of a future plan because in the beginning, you guys, when you're first starting, you have a lot of things to take care of. And as much as I would love to take like free projects or would love to take projects for low prices, I don't do that because everything revolves around money. You can't just like get by in life. You have like a lot of bills to pay and all of that. So yeah, I would love to volunteer more in the future once I'm more established. So if there's a way I can help, let me know. What do you do when you're stuck in your concept process? Move on to the next step. Don't overthink it. Move on to the next step and try to go towards functional usage of the space instead of concept. Sometimes you might surprise yourself and finish the functions and then get a concept. Happened a lot with me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I started with functions and then I developed a concept. And I know it's not ideal and it's not how it's taught in design school, but it can be super duper fun to work with. So yeah, whenever you're stuck, move on. I have to go now, but thanks for a great stream. Also, did I hear a cat? Yes, my cat is outside of the door and I'm trying to focus. Hi from Korea. Oh my God. Hi, Stella. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. You guys, I love this. Can you speak a little bit about the portfolio, please? I mean, yes, of course, I can. So whenever you are working with designing your portfolio, what you need to include is, first of all, a little bit of a section about you. And you have to develop the portfolio to fit the companies that you want to work with. You can have different portfolios for different companies. For example, you can have a commercial portfolio and a residential portfolio if you want to, and then another portfolio for, I don't know, film sets, things like that, whatever you did as an interior designer. And then you send whatever portfolio to the right company. And sometimes you work with traditional projects and sometimes you work with contemporary projects. So it's also a good idea to have different styles portfolio. And so this is like the most important tip. Second thing is that when you are laying out your project, make sure that it looks good. Look, you're an interior designer. Being an interior designer and not knowing how to do proper presentation, that can seriously lose you so much work because we are working with aesthetics. We're working with beauty, and we need to show that beauty from the moment that we present ourselves onwards. Even with our CV, it has to look special. And that doesn't mean that it has to be like overly decorated. No, it has to be within a grid and nicely laid out and everything with the same font, 2 to 3 fonts maximum. And then when you are laying out your project, make sure that you include the story of the project or include the functionality of the project or how or something special that happened with the project. Make it interesting for the recruiter to see and read. And if you're designing for a freelance portfolio, make sure that you put yourself in the client's shoes. What do they want to see? How can you show them that you provide value? Does that make sense? I hope this helped. How can I develop an aesthetic? it takes time. I'm obsessed with nature and animals, and I don't want my design to look like that. I mean, look, you can have a lot of obsessions, and the different, like, you can look completely different from your design. But I do think that it just takes time to know exactly what kind of style do you like to stick with, and what kind of touches that you always do in your projects. This is just a time matter. The more you design, the more like aesthetical taste you develop. Is that even a word? I don't even know, you guys, at this point. I'm considering psychology in the future too, and I'm curious if that would help in interior design, like customizing spaces depending on how it will affect mental state. That is the best thing ever. If look, we do take psychology courses. We did take them in our study in interior design, and it helped so much, because like the most simple things that you wouldn't think about affect how you interact with the space. So, for example, did you know that when Starbucks first started, they developed their concept around round tables because it encouraged conversation, which means that they involved more people coming to Starbucks and enjoying that experience rather than anything else. That's one of the reasons why Starbucks succeeded. It wasn't only product design, it was the environment design itself. So psychology and interior design are intertwined. They are one of all, and I think even like any interior designer need to have a little bit of background around psychology of colors, psychology of shapes, and how to implement that into your design. If you want a video on that, I'm really interested in the topic, but I think it's a great idea. If you want to take a master in something and you don't want to teach in interior design and you just want to apply it, then psychology is amazing. How did you market your design services when you started? I started on social media, on Instagram, and I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning. I'm not going to pretend that I did. But the thing is, it actually, the way I showed my process, showing you process can, make or break your marketing game. This is a great book, by the way, to read if you don't know where to start. So it's called Show Your Work. And it's all about sharing the process and the failures and things like that. And that's exactly what I did without actually being aware of those kind of things. Once you share your not only perfect parts, but your failures as well online, a lot of people will relate to you. And then I realized that my audience was growing to be interior designers more than anything else. And that's why I started serving other interior designers, because I enjoyed that even more. And I still get clients too, which is amazing, but I'm more focused on interior designers, and you will see what you like. So it just takes time and different experiences. Are your ears bleeding for how much I talked? I don't know. Thank you for your patience. Hi, was Autocad SketchUp hard for you? Autocad was a little bit hard when I was in university, but then now it's easier, but I don't prefer to work with it. SketchUp was really easy. I learned it within 3 days. And perspective drawing, really important, because I'm stressed out about it. No, it should not be stressed out at all. And by the way, you can take a one-on-one course with me if you want to. All the information are on my website and also down in the description down below if you want to go ahead and check it out. But there's nothing to be intimidated by. You just learn as you go. You start by opening up the software and trying to design something. And then whenever you get stuck with a block, what you do is actually research it, and that's how you learn. You will have a database of things that you researched, and you'll use it, and then next time it will be easier and easier and easier until it just becomes like a piece of cake. What knowledge must a designer have about the architectural stuff? Things like noise limitation and others. So when it comes to architecture, first of all, reading architectural drawings is very important. So we will get a set of, sometimes the interior designer lead the project, and sometimes the architect leads the project when it first starts. So basically, you'll need to understand how to collaborate with architects. What that means that you'll need to read the different drawings, MEP drawings, and all of that, and where the columns are placed. And you have to know the basics about like beams and location of structure and how you can edit that structure to the benefit of your client if you're working with them. Otherwise, what you need to know, yes, you do need to know acoustical needs for the space. This is something that they teach in interior design school. And if you're learning it by your own, you'll find a lot of videos, different videos and different resources to learn that. Other architectural stuff is basically you'll have to understand like what a load-bearing wall and non-load-bearing wall are. Just like, and whenever you want to learn something about architecture, like you'll learn as you go. I always say it. I don't know if I made my point. Do you have tips in making manual perspective? Yes, I do. And if you want to learn more, you can register in the course tomorrow. I'll actually be giving digital sketching, but I'll also be giving tips about like 1-point perspective drawings. If you want to join, you can join. Hoping to be an interior designer soon, watching from Philippines. Thank you very much. Vivid Interior, I bought your book but don't know how to use it. Please explain. Thank you so much for buying my book, and I'm so sorry that you didn't know how to use it, but I'll explain. I actually happen to have a copy right here. Not promoting, I promise, but this is my Interior Design Styles Lookbook copy. And if you open the first, what page is it? If you open page number 7, you will find how to use this book. So basically, when you open any style, you'll find 2 QR codes. The first one is for interior design for a board in Pinterest about that particular style. So this is the Arabian style. So you'll find different images, because I could not place images in my book. So this is the way I improvised. And also you will find a playlist that matches the aesthetic of that style. And here you'll find the keywords. So whenever you're describing it to the client, you're able to use like proper words. So the next page would be the intro. So a little bit of a definition of it, the style. You'll find like the color palette. You will also find characteristics. You'll find a fun fact about the style, another song that really relates to the style. And then finally, there are tips on how to apply the style, places to shop from, Etsy shops for independent creators. And you'll find an illustration that I made by hand. And then you'll find like some tips on it, on how it relates to the style. And then you'll find a mood board. These are codes for the different colors. So whenever you want to paint a room in a similar style, or if you want a similar color palette, you can take the exact number of the natural color system and you can apply it. You can give it to any paint shop and they will give it to you. And some other pieces that relates to the style, some materials as well. There's also space for creativity. So whenever you are, for example, gathering information for a specific style, you can add some pictures, you can print pictures, you can write some notes, you can expand. So it's a very flexible book for you. I hope this helped. I hope that I explained it well. There's also an entire video about the Interior Design Styles Lookbook. So if you want to see it, it's on my YouTube channel. So the main video there. Tell me which decoration 3D app to learn. Sketchup all the way. Hi, I'm an interior design student in my second year of degree. My question is, does designing spaces in different variations can benefit in my portfolio? So you mean like if you design different options for the same project? Yes, it can, of course. It can show how you had different ideas and how you coped with different mindsets, for example. So yeah, of course. And congratulations, please document every single piece of work you do, because this is the most difficult regret there is, because I can't go back and study interior design all over again. I need to go now, but I have to say the second semester starting 2 days, and you just gave me so much motivation. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. She's Noun. I appreciate you. And yeah, of course, I love interior design. I'm so grateful that I got to be an interior designer. Please share some tips for interior designer students on how to present assignment to faculty. I have an entire video about that. You will find it on my YouTube channel. It's called How to Create a Presentation for Interior Designers. Is your book available here in Philippines? I mean, it's delivered mostly worldwide, except for like a few countries, so you won't be able to find them. But yeah, I do deliver worldwide, and also it's on Amazon.com. So I'll leave the links down below. Hi, please, which realistic 3D app to learn? Even SketchUp can be realistic. It's just all about the rendering. So SketchUp and then Lumion, it would create pretty what is it called? Like pretty realistic 3D renders. I learned a lot from your YouTube videos. Thank you so much. I'm doing my own project. Safe India. Thank you so much, Safe. I appreciate your kindness. I hope that it helped you explain the explanation of how to use the book. What adjustment did you make this pandemic? Client meetings, sourcing, suppliers. I did a lot of remote working during the pandemic, and honestly, everybody else was struggling, and I felt for them. But for me, I got more interior designers, more design projects. Sorry, because everybody stayed at home, and that means that people were aware of the issues in their spaces. So the pandemic actually affected in the interior design business positively, because people started noticing that they could always improve their space, and if they didn't like their space, they had to adjust it. For the sourcing and everything else, because I have experience and because I worked with a lot of projects, I have a lot of different suppliers that I can recommend to my clients, and they can do the work for me at this point. Even if I'm in another country, I'm able to contact those suppliers and let them know what I need from them. So yeah, there were some delays over like all furniture shops and things like that, so that wasn't very nice. But I mean, it is what it is, and life is not predictable, and the pandemic really was a weird time. I mean, it's still going on, I think. Could you do a full tutorial of a 3D app? I have one. It's the sketchbook tutorial, and I'm planning to do more soon. I know I'm being inconsistent, you guys. I have no excuse other than that I'm really busy, and I need to work with my editor some more. I was self-editing for a while here, and I need to step it up because I can't do everything myself. This is something that you'll learn later on, that you can't do everything yourself. Tips in doing interior design thesis dissertation. Okay, it was very fun. And the thing is, you have to research other projects. You have to research the space or the location of the project that you're working with, and you'll have to understand the project before it's built. A thesis will help you kind of like develop an entire planning system, if that makes sense, for the second semester, which is like the graduation project. So whenever you're working with your thesis, make sure that you have in mind how you can apply those information onto the design stage, which is the second semester of the thesis. If I can upload my thesis online, I might be doing it soon. So I will try to upload it on my website. If you're not subscribed to my mailing list, do not forget to subscribe to my mailing list. Yes, I do send a lot of promotional stuff because like I have to promote myself, you guys, because I have to pay rent and all of that. But other than that, I really suggest that you sign up for my newsletter so you can get to know when I'm uploading something like my old thesis, so you can have kind of a template. And if you want me to create a thesis template as well, let me know. I might be able to do it. That's actually a fun idea. I might want to do it because thesis was really fun to do. So yeah, have fun, enjoy it, and thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys so much. If you're watching this video after it's been aired, after it's been live, you can feel free to leave any kind of questions you have in the comments down below. I'll try to answer them as soon as I can, but sometimes it takes months for me to answer. I'm sorry about that. I'm really, really busy and I have so much on my plate, but I appreciate having you here. Thank you so much for being subscribed. Thank you so much for being on here. Do not forget to go to my website, sign on to the newsletter, follow me on Instagram, talk to me. I love talking to you guys, and I appreciate you all. Have a beautiful time of the day wherever you are in the world. See you soon. Thank you all. Mwah. Bye.